All right. Doing a little sound check first. Make sure everything is copacetic. All right. Give me a sec here. Can you guys hear me? Let me just do it. All right. Faithful to God is already there. Saying sound check is good. Let me just double check it on my side as well. Hold on. All right. Sounds good to me. All right. Let me all right. Okay, good. All right, so far so good. This is a almost spur of the moment type of stream that I'm doing here, but not really. I did kind of had planned to do a stream after as an after show for the release of the final episode, which was just released not too long ago, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And watching it along with you guys, the show, at least this version of it anyway, seemed to have gone by a lot quicker than I anticipated. And that's a good thing. That means the pacing is a lot better than what I had anticipated. Let me see if I can get this off the screen here. Wish there was a way for me to. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to yawn. I was about to actually call it a night, but my friend, brother, faithful to God, sent me a brief text and said, "Hey, you still going live?" And I said, "You know what? I should probably do that for the sake of those who might have questions and stuff like that." So, anyway, so tonight's stream, yeah, nothing real significant. Just a sort of an after show type of thing where I talk about the release of episode 12. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do this. We'll have it play in the background while I talk. I'll have the sound occasionally muted. Let's see if we can do this. Yeah. Get it blown up. All right. Okay, let's turn down the music here, the background. All right, so after 6 long years, the final episode is released. We are here, folks. I am done. And I am not doing any more to this series. It was a lot of fun. There was a lot of times where I was afraid that I wouldn't get it finished. There are times when I just wanted to give up because I just got tired of doing it. You know, not that there wasn't any negative things happening in my life that made me want to give up or anything like that. I just got tired of working on it. I was suffering from some burnout, and I wanted to stop. You know, other ideas came up. I said, I want to do this instead. But I'm going to attribute the success and the completion of this series to answered prayer. Because if you look closely at the description of every one of my videos, every one of these episodes, I always put a disclaimer telling people that if you want to argue with me about eschatology, don't even bother, because don't claim to be an expert in the issue. But I also asked people for prayers too, that the zeal would remain. And I am firmly convinced that those prayers have been answered. So thank you for those. For those of you who've been following this series. for as long as you have been. So this is going to be a short stream. We're definitely not going to watch the whole episode again, but I will open up the room shortly. I'm probably just going to keep it open for about maybe 20 minutes or so, and because I don't want to make this a regular full stream where we talk about other stuff. I want to keep this stream focused on the release of the episode. So if there's anyone that's interested in asking questions or making any type of comments regarding the episode, you're more than welcome to come in. Excuse me. Sorry. Let me do this. I'm going to go ahead and play the video, and I'm going to do something real quick to kind of help me wake up. And then as soon as I get back, I'll put the link, make the link public so you guys could come in case you guys have any type of questions. But this is going to be a short stream tonight. And yeah, so I will be right back. What is this? Okay. Oops. All right, so let's do this. I'm going to open up the link. I'm back. And I'll do a little bit of commentary for some of the stuff here. So, let's see. So, again, I don't want to keep this stream open all night. So, I'm a little beat. Okay. Anyway, hey, we got Faithful to God. What's going on?
Oh, snap.
Okay. All right. So right here we got a series of the bowl judgments. Somebody was asking me, "Hey, where's the bowl judgments?" It seemed like we're not getting all of them. Well, what you're seeing right here are very, very quick snippets of what was in the original cut. That version will be released on Sunday. So for those of you who want to see like the completed version of each of these bowl judgments, you'll have to wait till Sunday to see them. So the reason why I cut them so short in this version is because, again, the pacing, it just made this entire sequence just drag on. So I had to do something. So, and once you see it, trust me, it'll make sense. But anyway, welcome to the room, Faithful. Just mute the sound here. So
yeah, mute that part. Yeah, especially that part. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting sound effects. Yeah, I wonder how those were arrived to. Like,
Yeah, I created, when I was creating this scene, I said, I need a sound of someone like somebody's belly just grumbling. Yeah. And so I just went all throughout YouTube to find something, and yeah, that was definitely I found something. I forget what the name of the video was, but I was like,
what we call in the tri-state area, we call that the bubble guts, man. Yeah, the bubble guts. Yeah.
I haven't heard that term in a long time. Oh,
that's
yeah.
Funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so while we were watching it at home, I had a small crowd come by, and they're watching it with us and stuff. My wife's friend was asking a bunch of questions, because she's not really educated in the Bible and stuff. So she's asking, well, why is he throwing up a frog? And who are those banana people? I said, no, those are horns, the 10 horns.
The banana people.
Yeah. She was asking all kinds of questions. It was kind of cute. Yeah. And so, but it was a good opportunity to educate her on certain things in the Bible regarding, eschatology and stuff. So, the images that John saw, in Revelation, and this is more of a distorted version of those images, those the things that John describes in Revelation, because this is a nightmare sequence for Amabu. So, so all that's going on here is, you know, this dream is of a premonition of things to come. You know, that God's judgment is coming for him. You know, so. And that frog, you know, the scene where he threw up the frog, you know, that's
The
from
unclean spirit. Yeah,
the
the
unclean
unclean
spirit, right?
spirit that had the appearance of a frog in Revelation. Yeah,
Right,
right.
exactly, exactly. So, you know, some people might
I
ask, well, why do you got him naked? Well, it's a sign of embarrassment, shame, humility. So that's what's going to happen to him. You know,
I do have one question, man. I do have one question. This is gonna sound
sure,
silly, right?
sure,
Uh, in the scene where everybody is being raptured,
right,
the guy that was like waving to them like
yeah,
frantically, like
yeah, uh huh.
was that the young kid from the episode where he received Christ? Like, I want Jesus to be my Lord and my God. Was that him?
No, that was Arnie, one of the members of the new group, the Australian kid,
Yeah.
the
What
one.
what what happened? What happened to like is the other kid? Because I was looking for him for some reason. Was he
Oh yeah, he's in the scene. Yeah, during
okay?
the rapture scene, well, the scene before everyone gets raptured, there's a quick shot of people, you know, changing clothes and yeah. Oh, okay, I'm gonna have to look at that. Okay, hold on one second. My wife is bringing to my attention some sort of one. My other YouTube channel is acting weird. Oh,
Okay.
so it's the Sailor Pictures channel. So let me take a new name. Welcome to the room. Hi, how's it going?
Good, how are
Oh, by the
you?
way, Vector, you got a question in the chat. Just
Okay, I'm gonna look at that and let me just take a look at the video. 1 second. It must be your phone because the video is playing just fine here. But anyway, all right, let me go back to the question here. Let's see. All right, let's see what we got. Jose Quintanilla says, I got a question. At the scene when Amabo and Maitreya say sorry if I spelled that wrong, that's okay, where they were getting chained up, who was the third person? Ah, yeah. Okay, the third person was Amabo's servant. So I started at first not to even have him in that scene, but I did put him on the ship. And so I couldn't just leave him be and not have anything happen to him. So I decided, why not just have him be the third person thrown in chain, you know, put in chains as well. So it's not like he's part of the evil trinity, as you will. So but yeah, if you'll see him in episode 10 and in episode 11 as well. So I haven't given him a name, but he's just a servant. That's all. He's a Mabu's servant. That's all he is. And as far as the way you spell Maitreya, I spelled it Mortreya. That's all. You know. But as you spelled Maitreya here, that's where I got the name from. Actually, from the mysterious person that's been talked about maybe 10, 15 years ago called Maitreya. You know, people have seen glimpses of him allegedly saying that he looked like Jesus and that he would just randomly disappear in front of people and appear, and you know, and when he's around people, you know, somehow, you know, miraculous things happen to them, and they get a great sense of peace around this individual named Maitreya. But nobody's ever really interviewed him or anything. Just some sort of obscure legend that people who have claimed to have seen do miracles and then just randomly vanished. So that's where I got the name Mortreya from. It's from that actual entity called Maitreya. So, you know, I'm glad. I'm kind of glad that you brought that up. Sophia of Athens, Sparkle, what's going on? It says, can you post the link to your alternate channel? Yes. I can do that right now. Yeah.
But by the way, who was that third character? So you have Amabu, Maitreya, and then that third person.
Yeah, that's his servant. That's Amabu's servant. That's all. He's kind of insignificant, really.
Okay.
Yeah, he's just a servant. That's all. Yeah, I mean, because you don't see him doing anything else throughout the entire series except just being there for a marble.
Right.
That's
By the
it.
way, I want to share this with your audience only because, I shared this with you on the phone that back when I was brand new Christian, like literally like brand spanking new, episode 1 really helped me understand the Trinity, right? Episode 1 and 2, both of those episodes back to back. Uh, I know a lot of people may look at the cartoon as just a cartoon, but um, there's an example of where it was used for God's grace and mercy to help bring someone like me into the understanding of the Trinity. And I think that's beautiful. I think it's a great tool for evangelism all around. But, I'm sure when you were making episodes 1 and 2, you couldn't have anticipated that the video was going to help elucidate the Trinity, or did you? Maybe you did, maybe you didn't.
Well, not specifically or directly, but I did have every intention on giving a little bit more focus on Jesus and his divinity and his sovereignty and stuff. So, but yeah, nothing specific per se, except for that one scene, in the episode 1 when they're boasting in Christ. The two witnesses in New York City in Times Square. Yeah, that's about it.
That's the one that did it for me. That and the combination of Gregory when he sees the when he sees Christ as the ball of light, and Christ tells him, go therefore and make disciples of all the nations, baptize them in the name, Matthew 28:19. That combination, man, it's interesting how the Lord works, right? He works in mysterious ways. How he utilized that to bring me into the knowledge of the Trinity, being that when I was unsaved, I was a Unitarian, man, and I spent years railing against the Trinity, and to have that hit me in that fashion, it's beautiful how the Lord works. And hey, man, it happened in a cartoon. It happened in a Christian cartoon series, man, and that's the beauty of this. Lord willing, more people might watch this and they may be convicted, or the Lord may use this to edify them. It's beautiful.
Yeah, amen. I'm people that's always been part of my prayer, that the Lord would use whatever I do, whatever I create, to bring attention to him, and so that he's glorified and that his people are edified. So and I get to take the pleasure of doing something I love, I enjoy doing, and I see some sort of fruit come out of it. So it's always good. It's always good for me either way. Yeah. Like I said before, it took me 14 years, and it was 14 years since I started doing this. I didn't really start suffering any real burnout until maybe after I started episode 11. That's when I started experiencing moments of like, when am I going to get this thing done? I want to get back to doing some other stuff, but then, it was just like this up and down roller coaster. But, again, like I said before, I think the prayers of everybody help keep the zeal. I don't know. So anyway,
I
think
do have another question about the series. Just, I'm sure a lot of people have wondered this. In terms of, because the battle at the end, some might interpret that as being Armageddon, right? The battle of Armageddon.
Yeah, right.
But in terms of how you pace the battle and everything else, you weren't necessarily trying to say this is the battle of Armageddon. It was more like taking artistic liberty with the source material, obviously the Bible, and then kind of making it entertaining. And also, even at the end, the idea of because there were a lot of people that were kind of interpreting the opening of the ground after Amabu and the false prophet Maitreya were judged, that was the bottomless pit, right? Because you see a key, and then or was that the bottomless pit? That's the part that I was curious to understand.
Yeah, that's what I kind of indicated with the key, as it says in the passage that he has the key to the bottomless pit, and they were thrown in there. But going back to the battle thing, yeah, I had no intention of interpreting that scene with Jesus as the Battle of Armageddon. No, I was thinking of if I were to do something like that, it would definitely see something like, the angels participating as well. But this one, to me, it was kind of tough because I was going back and forth between, okay, should I have like a really, really epic battle scene where you have the angels fighting against the bad guys, and and to me, it I was kind of unsure where I wanted to go because I'm thinking like, okay, realistically, I don't even think it would be much of a battle if you have the angels, because first of all, they can't die, so it really wouldn't be much of a battle if from my understanding. But that doesn't mean that it's not going to happen either, so my question would be, okay, how do you have two immortal beings fighting each other? Like, who wins that battle? Who wins that kind of a battle? Like, how does one win that battle? And so I'm thinking, okay, well, probably what I could have done was had the fight go on for a little bit, and then maybe just have Christ come out and do his sword out of the mouth type of thing at the end.
Or like have the angels fighting against demons, like two spiritual entities fighting against each other. And since both are spiritual entities, it seems like plausible that like it's an actual battle, because it's no longer just the humans versus supernatural, but supernatural versus supernatural. And then here comes Christ as the boss, like you said. But I like how you framed it. I love it. The way that you framed it was to show Christ is Lord overall, right? There was nothing that was going to prevent him from judging Amabu and judging Maitreya. Like, he was going to always win. And the beauty behind it was showing that, he is King of Kings and Lord of Lords. That was beautiful. And that I am scene was, man, that was so epic. I love that I am scene, man.
Yeah, I envisioned that scene for over 10 years, man. Yeah, I mean, I've been thinking about, like, everything that happened in this episode was exactly as I had envisioned it 10 years ago. And it was so surreal to finally be working on that one scene. I was like, man, I can't believe I'm here 10 years later and I'm actually doing it. It's just bringing it to life. This is so surreal, so strange, and now there is a scene, most of you have seen it, well, some of you have seen it already. If you've subscribed to this channel and to my other channel, you'll see that I uploaded a scene a few years back where in John 18, where Jesus is in the Garden of Gethsemane and the Roman soldiers, the centurions, come to arrest him. And he says, who are you looking for? And he says, Jesus of Nazareth. And he says, I am. And then they all get knocked backwards and fall to the floor. So that scene was already done. That was the first scene that I did for this particular episode. That scene is already available for people to see if they want. However, I did not include it in this episode, in this version, because it ruined the flow of the pacing. The pacing was just way too slow. But you'll get to see it again with the rest of the movie, rest of the episode on Sunday. So on Sunday, the director's version, the director's cut, is coming out on Sunday, same time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, except that one's going to be 30 minutes longer than this one. So, and that one is posted for people who are extra curious to see everything, So, but I have to warn you ahead of time, though. The pacing in it is really, really, I'm saying bad, because not that the imagery is bad, but it's just slow. You'll be looking at your watch after maybe 5 minutes and saying, man, this scene is still going on. So, and once you watch it, you'll see what I mean. You'll see that you might agree that I had to make some cuts. I had to make some cuts. So anyway, Nome, what's going on? Welcome to the room.
Remarkable series, man. Beautiful.
Oh, praise God. Thank you, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love the anime and the graphics, the workmanship, the dialogue. Everything is just flowing together. It's just very beautiful.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, thank you.
Have you ever thought about approaching Netflix about something like this?
Yeah, the idea has crossed my mind. Actually, approaching Angel Studios actually crossed my mind several times.
Really?
So, yeah, because I know they do Christian-based type of stuff. So I don't know. I just got to stop capitalizing the pro in procrastination and finally do something. But I love what I do though. So even if I'm not getting paid for it, I love doing it. So
yeah, it took a while, but it was worth it.
Yeah. I think that's the part that's the most important. Is that the fact that I enjoy doing it and there's an actual purpose behind it. So, but I'm here. Because sometimes things get. You get tired of working on the same thing and you want to work on something different. So,
do you draw the anime or do you use AI for it?
No, I use everything that's drawn is me. I use AI for like background shots. Like you see that mud there. Actually, no. That shot.
Do you have one of those like bamboo tablets that you can draw and connect to the computer?
Yeah, actually, I do. I do have one of those, but I don't have it. I don't have the one where you draw on the screen though. I have the really, really old one. It's more like a mouse pad with a pen.
Oh yeah.
You draw on the pen on the pad, and it shows you on the screen what you're drawing there. So that's what I do. It's old equipment, man. Really, really old equipment.
Yeah, that's why it's taking you so long. If you use the new technology, you'll be done in 10 days.
No, not really. No, because
with AI, you can tell AI like make this scene, and it'll make it for you in like 10 seconds.
Oh, with AI, yeah. But
I appreciate the art though.
Yeah. I want it to look like me. So I mean, AI is definitely would help big time move things a lot faster. But there would be a little bit of a it wouldn't be me though, because it would be someone else's work. You know what I mean?
The way you went though, it surprised me. It's definitely not kid friendly.
Yeah. That's why I said in the beginning of the episode, I put the TV-14 rating on it. TV-14 is sort of the TV version of PG-13. So in the movies, it's PG-13. On TV, it's TV-14. So, because there's some, some violence in there. And, it's not R-rated, so it's not terribly grotesque. But, the one guy gets shot in the head. Actually, there's two people that get shot in the head. And then, of course, there's some slight nudity, if you want to call it that. You see people's butt. That's about it.
By the way, this scene right here was so awesome when the trumpet sounds and they all come back to life and their bodies are kind of like regenerated. Yeah, that was awesome. I really like this right here.
The dead shall raise first, and then we who are alive shall be changed. Yeah,
that's right.
So that's and I added the trumpets as an extra thing to kind of make it more dramatic, instead of things just happening, back to back. And you notice the colors are different too. Those who are resurrected are more brighter colored than everyone else. Everyone else is sort of a muted color. So just to kind of show that they're different, You also notice too in the scene where they are changed in the twinkling of an eye, some people don't change. So even though they're all prisoners, some of the prisoners don't change. Some of the prisoners do not get a white robe. You notice. And so the reason why I did that was to show that I believe that when the tribulation occurs, when they start throwing people into these camps, these concentration camps, it's not all going to be just Christians. I don't think. There will be an attack on the church, yes, but I don't think everyone who is going to be attacked by the beast will be Christians either. So
I forgot the guy, the one that was being accused of being a spy. The one with the heavyset gentleman with the glasses.
Yeah, Michael.
Yeah, Michael. You know what was interesting about him? I was so glad to see that he was among God's people, you know, because there was always the question of whether he was gonna make it at the end or not, whether he was a traitor or not.
Right.
So I really found that awesome. I was so happy to see that scene, man. I was so glad to see that he was part of God's people.
Yeah. It took me a while to decide on what I wanted to do with him. I wasn't sure if I was going to make him a mole or not. And I decided, hey, why not? Why not surprise everybody to see if, see what kind of reaction I could get. So, and this is the part right here that we're looking at. This is the part where you find out that he really was a believer. You know, he's just a little bit of a cowardly type of person. That's all, as you could see in episode 6. So, for episode 6, for those of you who haven't seen, there's a scene where they know that the locusts are coming after them, and the only cover that they have is the van. But he runs inside the van and locks the door and leaves everybody else out. Not knowing that, now, of course, the locusts won't touch the Christians because they're believers, but none of them have been tested yet with that kind of thing yet. So, and Michael didn't want to be out there to find out if he would get bitten by one of the locusts or not. So he runs in the back of the van and closes the door and leaves everybody else outside. So, and I did that to kind of raise the inquiry. Oh, is he actually a believer? Or maybe he's a mole. Maybe he's one of these, self-deceived individuals who's not actually saved, So this scene here is Dash seeing his resurrected wife back to life. So she was one of the people killed in episode 10. And the horn blows and he turns around and he sees her standing before him and he's like, And so then he's you can see him there crying and got his bloody hand on her and stuff. Yeah. She's still got blood riddled shirt riddled with holes and blood on it, but yet she's just fine. And then there's the third horn. Yeah, go ahead.
What was interesting is the scene, and I really like that little touch, right? Because obviously Vekel, the character Vekel in the cartoon, and Mao, when they're both in their transfigured bodies, going up in the rapture, and they're looking at each other like, that was beautiful, and I like that. And of course, I hope I'm not spoiling for anybody who hasn't watched it, but the end.
Yeah, spoiler alert, folks! Spoilers.
Spoiler alerts. Yep, spoiler alerts. The scene where the Vekel character in the cartoon is reunited with his wife and daughter, because that was the big theme at the beginning of the cartoon, right? He's on a revenge mission looking for the killer of his daughter and his wife, right? And he initially thinks it's Mao until we find out that Mao was actually against his wife and daughter being killed.
Right.
And I really like that, man. I really like that that tie-in at the end to show, like, look, man, just when you thought Vekel wasn't going to be there, he's with the elect people of God, and it's beautiful, man. It was beautiful. It really, man, that was such a beautiful ending, especially when he's having the conversation with Christ and talking about his sins, and Christ has to remind him that, I saved you in spite of your ways, right? Like it was nothing you did. It was my finished work on the cross, right? That accomplished it for you because
Right.
I love you, like that was beautiful to me. I really like that. I really, really like
That's
that.
good. Yeah, I wanted to keep that scene because I had changed the dialogue a bunch of times with that scene between Vekel and Jesus, and I decided, you know what, I'm just going to keep the scene very, very simple, the dialogue very simple and straightforward. Instead of saying simple, I should say straightforward. Because I wanted people to see, the power of God's grace, and so I kept it simple. By having, the scene that we hear all the time in a lot of these movies where, I've sinned, Lord, I've sinned, I've done this, I've done that, I've done this. And Jesus is just kind of saying, affirming, yep, yeah, you've done all these things,
Anyways, thank you so much, Reckle. I appreciate your time and effort for putting
Yeah,
this
man.
stuff together. I just wanted to jump in here and say I liked the episode.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thank
you,
you, man. Thank you for being a vigilant member of the Christian community out there. We need more comic books and Christian media out here. Seriously. We had enough of this Disney Plus and LGBTQ whatever and Netflix, Netflix specials. We need more of this stuff.
We do, man. We need more material that's edifying for the people, man, for the church.
What was that movie called? It was about Christ. It hit the movie theaters actually. It was a
The one that
big
came
deal.
out last year?
Yeah, what was that called again? I forget. It was such a big deal. I forgot what it was called.
King of
Something
Kings?
like that. It ended up hitting theaters.
It was an
I don't know
animation,
if you
right?
remember that. Yeah, it was in the Toronto Film Festival.
The only thing I know about is called The King of Kings. It was about a kid who's been told the story by his father about Jesus. His father was a magician or something like that, or something.
Yeah. You remember that one? That was last year.
Yeah, that was last year. Yeah.
You guys have, I don't know where you're from in the States, but we have this thing every year called Toronto International Film Festival.
I think I've heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah, and they play different movies, like different small director movies, not necessarily Hollywood. And a lot of them become famous that way because people get to see it for the first time.
Ah.
Like, where do you broadcast this?
I'm in New York State. So I mean
I mean this show, where is it broadcasting? Like on YouTube just, or where?
Just YouTube. Yeah,
that's
probably
it.
Gonna upload it. Yeah, that's it. Exclusive on YouTube, folks. Although
you have a website?
Nope. This is it, man. I'll probably upload a copy of this on Rumble too. Yeah.
On Rumble?
Yeah. People can have access to it over there as well. And you never know. Sometimes YouTube gets a little funky. So I'll probably probably be a good idea if I upload the episode over there as well. I probably will do that tonight.
Yeah, maybe I can be your manager or something, man. Maybe I can get you into the Toronto International Film Festival.
I'd be interested in talking about that. Yeah, we'll see.
I got some connections in high places, man. I'm not kidding you. You go downtown Toronto, you say Numismatic King, everybody stops, I'm a big shot, man. I'm telling you, it's like Trump walking around New York City, it's like that.
I find that hard to believe coming from you, Num.
Seriously, when we walk the red carpet in the Toronto International Film Festival, we're cheersing champagne. Yeah. And you're thanking your wife and your family and everything for the big award, then I'll just smile at you and wink. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. You're too funny, man. Hold on
Everybody
one
has a manager in the stand just watching, I'll be your manager. Nobody got far without a manager. Think about that.
second. I will definitely consider for sure. Yeah.
Consider it, man. Consider it done.
By the way,
Consider it a
Becco,
done deal.
I'm always looking for an excuse to go to Canada anyway.
Yeah.
We went to Canada almost back to back earlier a few months ago.
I'm like Trump, man. I like to do deals.
Okay.
Faithful, what
By
were
the
you
way,
gonna say?
No, I was just gonna say I gotta head on out, and God
Yeah.
bless you. Thank you so
Me
much.
too,
for the
man.
series.
It's gonna be Beckel all by himself. God bless both of you. See you later.
All right, thank you guys for coming in, man.
Yep.
Appreciate.
By the way, you got some questions, Becco, in the chat.
Oh yeah,
God
I'll be
bless
getting
you.
to those. Yeah.
Yep, and thank you so much, man. And may the Lord continue to use this series to draw more people to Himself, man. Yep. I
Yeah.
appreciate you. God bless, man. Yep.
Yeah. God bless you, man. Take care. Yeah. So.
Is that crazy?
Yeah. So. Dajo. I've seen this name before. Yeah. If people are, some people ask me if they can, is it okay if they download these episodes and put them on their own channel? People have been doing that for years, so and I don't have a problem with it. I'm not afraid of copyright issues or anything like that because I know that I'm the one who created it. People see me working on it at work. People who know me personally know that this thing is, it's coming directly from me. So I'm not worried about anything being stolen or, anybody trying to take credit for the cartoon and stuff like that. So yeah, if you want to go ahead and upload it to your own channel, feel free to do that. One guy downloaded these videos and then re-uploaded them on his own channel and put Spanish subtitles on it. So yeah. And so no, that's a playlist. Yeah, he put it together. Yeah, some people put together playlists, their own playlist, where they don't even download the videos. They just save the videos to their. They create a playlist and then, collect all the videos on their own personal playlist. So if you want to do that, that's fine. I don't have a problem. Yeah. So it's not a problem to me, man. Like I said before, this is a hobby. I don't get paid for it, but I enjoy doing it. And yeah, that's it. So it's not a source of income for me. So that's this. I'm screen sharing. Yeah. So let's see. I don't want to do this stream all night, but I'll probably try to fast forward to some parts that most likely people have questions for. J-Sock, I did see you on the side chat earlier. Good to see you. Thousand Hills, it was good to see you. Good to see you. Who else? Christopher Hall. So where are the episodes? If you look at the description below, you'll see a link to the full playlist.
Green.
So once you go there, that'll take you to my Sailor Pictures channel. And from there, you can navigate. If the link that's below in the description below doesn't take you directly to the playlist, it'll take you to the channel where the playlist is, and you could just kind of look around there. Built for Speed, what's going on? Thank you so much, brother. Thank you for hooking me up, hooking everybody up with the link to the other channel there. So if you want to check that out, that's good. And Faithful, thank you for coming by. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate your words of encouragement. It's been a long time, man. We're here. We're finally done it. Yeah, I don't know what else to say, but let me get back to the video here, and I'll probably interrupt with some commentary here and there.
By millions of people, even around the world. So far, no reports have surfaced as to the identity of the group, but from what we can see and by what has been reported already, The individuals are reminiscent of the two terrorists that plagued various locations around the world with their racist rhetoric. Stay tuned for more updates on this mysterious and ominous group later this evening.
All right, so let's talk about one of the elephants in the room. You know, the skin color of Christ there. I've brought this topic up multiple times, and I'll cover it again here just for those of you who are just now tuning in, and it might be your first time hearing me make mention of it. No one really knows what Jesus actually looks like. There's a lot of arguments for him having darker skin because of ancient images in the Catholic Church and stuff like that. But again, we don't really know if he actually looked like that or not. We don't really know that. I don't know if he looked like Kenny Loggins or if he looked like Haile Selassie. I don't know. I don't really know. All I know is that Jesus was a Palestinian Jew who lived during the 1st century. And as far as what he actually looked like, I don't really know that either. We have to keep in mind, though, that if you look at the genealogy of Christ in both Luke and in Matthew, you see that all throughout his genealogy, that there is a mixture of different people from different nations in his blood. Okay, some Canaanite and some other people there as well, you know. So he is definitely of the tribe of Judah. He is definitely a descendant of David, King David, who was of the tribe of Judah. But remember that David has Moabite blood in him too, because he is the grandson of Ruth, who is a Moabite. And remember her and Joab, Boaz got together and they had Jesse. Who is Jesse? King David's father. Okay. So you just go all throughout the line and you'll see that the lineage of Christ is mixed. You know, but that doesn't mean that he was not a Jew, that he was not of the seed of David. So with all that mixing going on, all that mingling going on over the centuries, over the years and stuff like that, with different people of different nationalities converting to Israel. Okay. In my view, it is very, very difficult, I think, today for people to pinpoint themselves being a direct descendant of Jacob. And in other words, what I'm trying to say is that you can't look at a person and say that they're and tell that they are direct descendant of Jacob, regardless of their skin color. They can be super white or super dark. They can have curly hair or straight hair. You can't tell just by looking at the individual that they're a descendant of Jacob, because even going back to Genesis, the Israelites have always mingled with all types of people. Okay, if you look to Esther chapter 8, I think it's verse 17, you see that non-Israelite people became Jews. Obviously, that wasn't a genetic thing that transformed them into a Jewish person or an Israelite. No, they became Jews by proselytization, by conversion. Okay, and you see it in all throughout the Old Testament, Leviticus and Deuteronomy. Strangers or sojourners that were passing through converted to the law of Moses. They became Israelite. Okay, I mean, and I don't want to spend too much time talking about, but there's all kinds of examples of people who are not Israelite by blood that became Israelite. And so you got to wonder, is that type of thing in Jesus's blood? Of course it is. And then it leads you to the next question. Okay, well, all this mixing between Israelites and other people who became Israelites later, what does that say about Jesus today? Or what about his mother Mary? What did she look like? Was she dark skinned? Was she light skinned? I don't know. So, but the obvious thing is that we all grew up believing that, seeing the images in the movies and in the pictures, that Jesus looked like some white guy with long blonde or brown hair with a beard, very handsome guy. And that's what we're accustomed to seeing. I don't have that much of a problem with the image. However, I will argue tooth and nail if someone is trying to assert that is a factual depiction of the Christ. So anybody who says, no, that's literally what he looked like, then I'm going to argue with them and say, okay, you're going to have to prove that. And you're just not going to be able to do that. You're just not going to be able to prove that this is exactly what Jesus looked like. So like I said before, Jesus could have looked like that, or he could have looked like me. Maybe he could have looked like Kenny Loggins. Maybe he could have looked like someone else. Or maybe since in that region, he dealt with a lot of people in the Middle East, some light skin, some dark skin. Maybe he looked like the way I have him depicted in my cartoon. That's a possibility. So I decided to go with something a little bit surprising. I was going for a darker skinned Christ, and people saw the color of his skin. They didn't see the rest of his face, but they just saw his nose and his eyes and said, oh, so you made Jesus black. Well, when you say black, what do you mean? Like, are you talking about like me type of black, like a black American, or black, Sudanese or sub-Saharan? No, I just made him a dark-skinned individual. I just gave him a little bit more melanin, made him somewhat like the actor that you see, the Indian actor that you see in the TV series called Lost. His name was Suresh in that show, I think it was called. Very, very handsome guy, strong, angular jawline, and very, very handsome guy. And he was the image that came to mind when I said, I think I have an idea of what I want Jesus to look like. So, we got Brandon in the background. Let me get you on stage. What's going on, Brandon? Welcome.
Can you hear me well?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine. How you doing?
I'm good, and you?
Good. Yeah, I saw that you had a question during the live stream. So, but I forgot what it was. I think you were asking me.
Well, I was just, I was kidding. I was like, I thought this was going to be a Bible animation and stuff. I was confused on, I was just like, I don't understand what's going on. So I came in kind of late, but anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was just like, I'm lost. I don't know where we're
this
at
is
right now.
Yeah. This is the last episode of my series. So that might be, you probably haven't seen the other episodes.
No, I haven't.
So that might be what's throwing you off. Yeah.
But
it's a biblically Bible-based series, animated feature based off the Bible.
Genesis on it, on the title, and I was just like,
right.
This ain't in Genesis. Where are we?
Oh yeah. That's the name of the episode. Yeah. So this I called it Genesis because it's the final episode, sort of a play on words kind of thing. So it's the final episode.
I figured something like that was going on because I was like, this ain't Genesis. Like, what's going on?
Right. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, because I had the same conversation with my daughter a couple hours ago. She's like, Genesis means beginning, right, Daddy? I says, yeah, but why'd you name it Genesis if this is the last episode? And so, I had to explain
that'll
to
throw
her.
him off, Dad.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's funny.
Kind of a good thing, I guess. So, but
So
Bible-based cartoon. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, so did you just watch Standing for Truth's debate that they just had?
No. What was the discussion?
Oh, okay. Oh, it was on if you can lose your salvation or not.
Oh, okay. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah,
who's debating?
Chris, who's a guy with master's degree in Greek or whatever, and
I wonder
and
if it's
then
the
the
Chris
other
I know. Chris.
the other guy
Friedman?
that's the preterist, Telos or whatever.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah. I don't understand how anybody could arrive at the conclusion of the preterist position at all.
I don't get it either. He definitely
like,
wouldn't like this cartoon.
What? Like what, dude?
He would
like
not.
that. Yeah.
He would not like this cartoon.
How in the world? So you're telling me that in 70 AD, Jesus came back and nobody managed to notice?
I asked him this question before, and he couldn't give me a straight answer. No preterist
Yeah,
can.
I mean, like that's stupid, dude. Are you kidding me? Like, I mean, everybody's gonna notice when the Lord returns. Dude.
Exactly. It ain't going to be some
there-
figurative smoke.
What do you mean he already came? No, there's
Right.
not gonna be any of that, my friend. It's gonna be
Exactly.
the whole world's gonna be shitting egg rolls.
As a matter of fact, while we're got the video up, I want to show that scene where Christ returns. 1 second. So we got the rapture. Okay, here. So for those of you who are looking on your screen here, see there's an LGBTQ party taking place in Tel Aviv. And this is the scene where Christ returns. He said he shall return with the shout of an archangel.
Yeah,
And
I
then
was gonna say, I mean,
everyone's going to see him, right? So you'll notice, you see that bright light, and then it's falling down, and the people who are there in Jerusalem can see it directly. But you also notice that it's going to cut to different shots of different parts of the world, and they're seeing him fall from the heavens too. So there's the Mount of Olives right there, right? Then there's New York City. And then this is Antarctica. This is Korea, Kabul, Afghanistan. Okay, so just as you were saying a minute ago, Brandon, everyone's going to see him. When he returns, everyone's going to see him. So this is so.
I agree. To me, that position is absolutely ridiculous. But see, here's what I keep griping about, and I feel I'm getting frustrated with all of the confusion and ridiculousness. That's why I'm saying, dude, we really need to nail down. We need to have an authority for doctrine. And why is it that everybody that comes out of Bible college or seminary claims that the King James Bible is the worst of all the translations?
Well, that's a whole other discussion we can have some other time. But yeah, I don't want to do that tonight here. At least not in tonight's stream. I'm actually gonna cut it short anyway because I'm exhausted. But I did feel the need to do a response on sort of a slight commentary on the cartoon, on the episode. So that's why I wanted to keep it short, so I could just do the commentary.
Yeah, no, okay, all right. I thought you said what is the title of your video again? Let me go back.
Yeah. I called it Aftershow open chat.
That's why I thought you watched the debate over on Standing for Truth.
Oh,
yeah, that's what
and
I
I misspelled
dude.
it wrong too. I misspelled the word episode too. I gotta check that out. I gotta fix that too.
Anyway.
Yeah. No.
I mean,
This is the after show for the cartoon that I just uploaded. So
where were we at in the Bible on that when I popped in on Genesis scene and it had like kind of looked like that old guy in the I Pet Goat. Have you ever seen that little animation, the I Pet Goat or whatever it is?
No, what's that?
What? Oh man. Yeah, dude. This is just some guy. I can't remember the guy's name that made this little animation, but dude, it's got a lot of seriously deep symbolic stuff in it. You should check it out. Just put in I think it's just I Pet Goat or I Pet Goat 3 or something. Hold on.
Goat, GOAT.
Yep. I pet
Okay.
goat, like like iPhone, but I pet goat.
All right. Gotcha.
I pet goat, I think.
I have to look for it.
Goat. Here it is. I pet goat 3. There it is.
Yeah, if you could share the link, put it on the
I
side.
will. Yeah, this is a really cool animation, but I was like, dude. And this guy claims he just got inspired to do this out of nowhere. So we know where it came from, and it
Right.
ain't from God, you know what I mean?
Right.
But
right.
it's revealing a lot of stuff though still. So let me put it in the private chat here. But anyhow, your character that was in your thing looks like the little guy that's he's in the TV in this little animation. That's why
But
I
which character? Which character in my show were you thinking
well,
about?
it was when I popped on and put in that comment that whatever it said Genesis on it, but I was like, dude, I'm totally lost. But the guy that looked like half of his skin was burnt or
okay.
something,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you know
I
what I
see.
mean?
Okay. Now I think I know what you're talking about now. Okay. Yeah.
If he
I
was
pet goat.
leprous or something, or
Yeah, that's the character Amabu. He died in an explosion, and half of his body was ruined. His left hand, his left eye, his left part of his body was destroyed. Blind in his left eye. No, his right eye. And so he came back to life, but of course the scars are still there.
so what are you using to do your animations?
I'm using a program called Adobe Animate.
Yeah.
So at first I was hand drawing everything and then scanning it and then uploading it to this program, Adobe Animate, and drawing, cleaning up the images. But now I don't even hand draw it anymore on paper like I used to. I just hand draw it directly in the program and do everything there. So that was kind of speeding things up a little bit.
You got to get a hold of Blender, dude.
Yeah, Blender taking a while for me to learn how to use because, it's good if I want to use,
but it's
pre-made
2D animation.
3D.
Yeah, it's 2D animate. The 2D animator on with grease pencil and everything in Blender is so much easier than Adobe Animate, dude. I promise you, way easier.
I'll look
Once you
into
get
that.
the hang of it. Oh yeah. And you can do way better things with the whole grease pencil feature, dude. It's unbelievable.
Well,
Yeah,
I do
you'll
plan
love
on
it.
starting another project in about a month or so. And I
If
would
you're
like to
doing this
start
all
fresh with some new.
2D, yeah.
Yeah.
So and you're even creating all of the background imagery and everything just in Animator?
No, the background imagery I got from AI. So from a program called
Nice.
Midjourney. So
Sure.
yeah.
No, it
Yeah.
fucking looks good though.
So
dude.
all
You know
that's
what I mean?
all that's AI. Yeah. Yeah. And some of the voicing is done. I went to a program called 11 Labs where you can clone voices and stuff.
yeah.
So
Totally
most of
familiar
like
with
in this
that.
scene here right now, everyone that's speaking is me. But the voices are different, even the accents are different. So
Yeah.
in fact, I have to fix the subtitles for this episode now that I think about it. So because there's some parts where the words seem kind of garbled and the algorithm thinks that it's saying something else.
Well, dude, because I made a little book, just to see how it would go, and of course I used AI and everything to help me do my little book. But it's like a futuristic Star Warsy kind of thing, but exposing the Catholic Church. You know what I mean? That's the the subtext of the whole thing going on is really this is exactly what the Catholic Church is doing. This is how they control the world. You know what I'm saying? So, but
Right.
it would make a really cool little animation. That's the only reason why I'm interested in what you got going on here.
Well, I think I'm gonna wrap it
You know
up.
what I mean?
I'm getting tired, man. I've been
Yeah,
up all day doing some other stuff, and
yeah.
I wasn't planning on staying up too late anyway. So it's like 12 o'clock from my time. I'm usually a little bit more wide awake by this time, but for today, I don't know. I think I'm
Yeah.
more mentally exhausted than anything else. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But
All right, man.
yeah, thank you for coming by, man. You got anything
Yeah.
else you wanted to say real quick?
Well, I mean, I just, I wanted to, because you always make your little comments in the comments section on me that I'm always losing it to Smokey. It's like, come on, man. Let's be honest. Get real. You know what I'm
You're
saying?
trying to bait me into a conversation about the King James, man.
Well,
Let's
it's an important issue. That's why we do need to discuss
Wow.
it seriously, dude.
Well, it is important, but not
Seriously.
salvific. So that's why a lot of people don't seem to take too much interest to it. But
Well,
yeah.
I would, again, if the Bible is clear. If you don't have the doctrine of Christ, you don't have God. That sounds salvific to me.
Well,
So we
that's
might wanna
that's
be-
vastly different than the translation issue. So
What do you
those are
mean?
two
All of
separate-
these other Bible versions have totally different doctrine. That is the issue.
See, you're trying to bait me into a conversation about it when I'm trying to end the
I'm
stream.
not.
Man.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to be cool with you, just to give you a heads up on.
Yeah. No, I don't mind talking about it.
Let's
It's just
have
that
a
I
serious
don't.
discussion. Yeah,
I don't
right
mind
now,
talking
we don't
about
have
it. It's
to
just
have
that.
it.
Yeah. We'll talk about it definitely next time for sure.
Yeah, sometime
But,
soon. Let's start talking about it because I got facts to bring to the table.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So anyway,
All right.
you have a good night, Beckel.
You too, man. Thanks for coming, man.
Yeah, have
Appreciate
a good
it.
night.
Okay. Anyway, folks, I think I'm gonna wrap it up there. I'm gonna call it a night. I appreciate those of you who've been again, you stuck around, checked out the episode. If you haven't seen the episode yet, take some time to check it out. If animation's your thing, great. If not, that's okay too. But either way, I do appreciate the emotional and spiritual support and the encouragement. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Don't really have much to say. I didn't want to spend a whole another 30 minutes doing a entire commentary, at least not tonight. Maybe I should have done this commentary at a different day, so that way I'm more wide awake and I can spend more time. But I'm kind of exhausted right now. Don't feel like hosting a show. So, but anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate it. And keep me in prayer, man. I want to get started on another project really, really soon. So, but anyway, take care. I will see you guys soon. And we'll see. We'll see what the Lord has in store for me next. All right, take care.